Well, welcome back to 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse, and today we're going to check out a film that was not only shot in New York, but played heavily on 42nd Street and other theaters in 1973, and that film was Martin Scorsese's second film, Mean Streets. This was right after he shot Boxcar Bertha for, I believe, Roger Corman, and he went, basically this was a low-budget film, but it also established his I don't know what you would say, his stock group of actors that would always be with him in one way or another. And of course, this was Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro, and Victor Argo. Harvey Keitel is a mover and shaker in the mob and is just about, to do good things. And the godfather is Cesar Danova, who sort of frowns on the company he keeps because Johnny Boy, played by Robert De Niro, is kind of psychotic and gets involved in gambling and is, playing both ends against the middle, refusing to pay his debts or blowing off his debts or promising to show up later with his debts, which doesn't fucking work and eventually leads to tragedy. Film is almost 2 hours long. It played heavily around New York because, every New Yorker will identify with the film shot in that area, especially if it's sort of mob type movie because some of it was shot down in Little Italy, around Chinatown, things like that. And it just follows Charlie, Harvey Keitel, and Johnny Boy's adventures with his friends and stuff like that. You'll see several other familiar faces involved in the thing, including David Carradine as a drunk, who was in this guy Tony's bar, just flopping around on the bar, when this guy comes in and they tell him the bar is closed, but so I got to wait for somebody to go, okay, wait at the bar. Well, when David Carradine decides to go in and take a leak, this guy stands up, flips his hair out, which is almost shoulder length, goes into the bathroom, and blows him away. Well, he doesn't exactly die. He comes out and takes a few more bullets. The guy shooting him is actually his brother, Keith Carradine. So that's a kind of weird little setup there. But anyway, this is early Scorsese, like I said, shot in New York with, two of his best actors that will appear in other films with him, shot by him rather, and it's just cool to revisit this stuff again because you see a very young De Niro, playing basically a psychotic, and I think he also going back to where was it, Bloody Mama, I think he played a psychotic junkie in that one too. So here you're watching the early work of one of our greatest actors of all times here. So. And there was other mob movies. Any mob movie shot in around Manhattan's going to play on 42nd Street. I've already spoken about The Death Collector, Goodfellas, of course, things like that. So, these movies always played heavily in that area because, hey, who ran 42nd Street? A mob, that's who. So, that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you later on this week.